an Arizona Lotus Corporation radio station. Stream us on your cell, laptop, desktop, or tablet at KFMA.com. You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live from Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Thursday, March 7th. Good morning, Rico.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning in to the program. I'm excited about today. I was up late last night, kind of jotting down notes, being a music journalist as I am in my free time. Going to be speaking with my good buddy Ryan Gulamond from Mother Mother. Mother Mother is the name of the band. Maybe a lot of you out there aren't familiar with Mother Mother, but your kids are. I promise you that. They blew up on TikTok over the pandemic, and now they're on this like sold out world tour all over the place. Dude.
Nice.
And I've been spinning them since like 2010. One of my top 3 favorite bands of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, and the lead singer Ryan has we're basically tattoo twins. He has my name tattooed on his toes.
Oh, I recall. Yeah.
Yeah. And no, we never had relations. Just throwing it out there. But I'll be catching up with him about their newest album, Grief Chapter, which I really love. And that's later on in the program. So that's for me. So what's for you? Lots of tickets, of course. We're still giving away tickets for Cage the Elephant. And we're giving away 2 pairs of tickets for Hailstorm and I Prevail. So that's your listener bait, plus the keywords that you're going to be listening for the Rock 102.1 Cash Pal. Yesterday, there was a big announcement as far as the show coming to Tucson that I think some of you might be stoked on. That is, the Rialto Theater posted that the only Kevin Smith is returning to the Rialto Theater.
Oh, snap.
Oh, yes. And if you guys have been following along my storyline here at KFMA and down in Tucson, I kind of buddied up with Kevin Smith back in the day. In fact, actually, not only did we have him on the show a couple times, I got to hang with Kevin a little bit, smoke with Kevin when he was in his hardcore stoner phase. And then he even gifted me some weed on his way out of town because him and his wife like to come to Tucson as like vacation. His wife kind of grew up coming out here, these resorts out here where they get to ride horses and do cowboy stuff. So it's still a tradition that they still do, right? So Kevin Smith is actually in Tucson probably around once a year. At the very least, just to kind of like relax and enjoy the beautiful scenery that some of us take for granted.
There you go.
So after he was leaving, he's like, "Hey, Beef, man, I left something for you at the hotel. You can come by and get." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So Schmonty was in town, my co-host at the time, and so Schmonty, myself, and my daughter drove out to the resort to go pick up this package that Kevin Smith left for me. And when I walked through the lobby, as soon as I walk in the lobby door, the bellman looks at me and he kind of gives me this like grin, like, "Oh, it's gotta be you," kind of thing, right? And I'm like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I'm here to pick up a package left by," and he's like, "Kevin Smith."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he hands me this like FedEx package, right? And it's kind of bulky. And you could smell it. You could already smell what's inside it. And so
no surprises. Yeah.
And it wasn't a surprise. I pretty much knew I was going to be gifted weed. I didn't realize I was going to be gifted like 1.5 ounces in rollies. It was amazing. But the best part was Schmonty kind of knew what was up as well. And he didn't smoke. But I get in a car and I'm like, "Here, I put this in the back to my daughter." And she's like, "Can I open it?" And both Schmonty and I at the same time go, "No!" All right, there we go. I just had to finish out that story on the podcast broadcast. We are live, youtube.com/beefvegan. Had a couple minute late start because just finished up my conversation with Ryan Gulamond from Mother Mother, which I will be sharing on the YouTube page here in the next couple days. If you're not familiar with Mother Mother, you should be. One of my favorite bands of all time. I understand it's not necessarily like Five Finger Death Punch, right? It's kind of indie rock. The harmonies are beautiful, and it gets heavy at parts. Their entire catalog is massive. They've been around since 2005. They put out a record that is an all-time classic in my mind called "Oh My Heart" in 2008. And that album was great. And I built their fan base up in Phoenix off of that album and then the following albums that they had. And then during pandemic, something strange happened. The TikTok generation, the younger generation, found the 2008 album, Oh My Heart. And from that, blew them up to a level of success and notoriety that they had never seen before, and gave them basically a second shot at life, right? A resurgence in their career. Now they are bigger and better than ever. And then from that, they are re-inspired to start making some of the greatest music they've made in their entire career and catalog. So my single song takeover for you is the band that I just put on the pedestal, the interview that I'm going to drop in a couple days, and it's one of my all-time favorites. Mother Mother is the name of the band. This song, not even a single, really, but it's off of their album Grief Chapter, which you could stream now. It's called Explode. Check it out. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Oh, yeah. Now, you guys can't hear it on the stream, but just know that it slaps. That's the kids
It's
say,
out
right?
there.
Yeah.
You can find it.
It's very slappy. Yes.
It's very good. You got me into that immediately.
Yeah, I'm glad that
It's like, okay.
yeah, so that's why we were late on the stream, by the way. I talked with Ryan for 25 minutes, which I could have went longer. But the publicists, and all publicists are like this, right? It was just kind of dicks.
Come on.
Their job essentially is called bad cop. And so I'm like, how much time do you think I'll have with my good buddy who I've known for over 10 years?
My legitimate friend.
My legitimate friend of over 15 years. How much time do you think I could have? And you're like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that. Can I have them at 9 a.m.? No, you can have them at 8:30.
We're in Birmingham.
Yeah. They are in Europe, and it's 4:00 over there in the afternoon. So that's what happened. And of course, Ryan's in no rush to get off. I actually kind of disconnected with him, so I had to send him a text and be like, "Sorry, dude, I had to get on my stream." I'll share that with you though.
It was a good interview.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah. Here, let me share with you the notes that I put together. Sorry, I'm eating a cookie on the live stream because I'm an idiot. So last night I went through. Now I've listened to this album. It came out a few weeks ago. I've already listened to this album at least 30 times, right? It's a short album. Hold on, somebody's calling. Maybe they're gonna see if they like it or hate it. Rock 102.1, who's this?
Hey, what's up, buddy? This is Don.
Hey, Don, what's up?
Hey, I'm just curious. We were driving by Rialto and saw that Flogging Molly's coming to town.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's going to be the week of St. Patrick's Day.
Heck yeah. You guys doing any free tickets?
We actually gave away a bunch of tickets when we announced that a couple months back. I don't know.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, man. Well, you're late to the party, Don.
I work too dang much, and where I catch the radio in between jobs, I'm like, son of a bitch, Flogging Molly's in town, and yeah, $150 a pop for tickets is a little pricey.
Is that what? No. You might be looking at the wrong.
We went online right there, and they're like, holy shit.
Well, Don, you're live on the air now, so no cursing. But let me tell you, make sure when you're looking up tickets for Flogging Molly to look directly at rialtotheater.com. A lot of people are deceived when they look online because all these ticketing sites, they will mark it up 100, 200%.
They'll be flogging consumers.
So you want to know exactly how much those tickets are, because I guarantee you it's not $150 to see Flogging Molly. You have to go to rialtotheater.com, and they're going to give you the real price, which is probably around $40 or $50. I haven't checked, but
I greatly appreciate that, bud. Yeah, because it said it was close to getting sold out, and I'm like, I do not want to miss that bad boy.
No, I know it's a party. I love seeing Flogging Molly. I've seen them live probably a handful of times now. And then during the week of St. Patrick's Day,
I got to see the Flogging Molly drop kick together. That was a blast.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of booze.
Yeah, it is. It's a party. So yeah, Rialto.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
rialtotheater.com. Make sure that's where you're going to grab your tickets, and do not get your tickets from any outside sources, or you're going to be paying too much, guaranteed.
I greatly appreciate it, guys. You guys keep rocking.
All right, thanks, brother. You too. All right, we're back on Rock 102.1 KFMA. I'll share that sheet of what my notes were on Mother's Grief chapter here when we wrap things up. But the head story, the big story today, that was breaking news.
Breaking.
Here, actually, I got a sound effect again for that. That Rico said breaking news.
Breaking news.
Was Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? The reality is that's a yes. That's exactly what's going to happen. And it was announced by the streaming platform that is going to air it, and that is Netflix, which is even more massive, to be honest with you, right? Because Jake Paul fighting and doing his little carnival act boxing matches have all been pay-per-view leading up to now.
Right.
And he's been making good money with that. Now, obviously, Mike Tyson, that's a draw in any scenario, and a boxing Mike Tyson. Now, there's so many questions on to whether or not, is it going to be an exhibition or a real fight? Or will Mike Tyson give his all, try to kill Jake Paul? What the deal is. But here are the facts, okay? Netflix is going to air it. It's at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, meaning it's going to be, they're trying to sell over 100,000 tickets for this first ever live boxing match on Netflix. Massive, big business here. Netflix, this is the video that they shared on their Twitter page. I want to share with you here real quick. You're going to be able to see it, youtube.com/beefvegan, as we are live on the podcast broadcast.
Does it have a helicopter?
It does have a helicopter. Of course, Jake Paul's in the helicopter. This was the teaser that Netflix just released for the fight. Let's check it out. I love this song. There's Mike Tyson. Saturday, July 20th on Netflix. Massive. Netflix is making big moves in 2024 as to getting into the live entertainment game. Obviously, we know them as a streaming platform. Everything is on demand. But just a couple months ago, they announced a big $1 billion deal, $7 billion deal to air Monday Night Raw from WWE. That's
how much?
$7 billion.
Oh,
yeah, that's how much WWE is getting over the course of 10 years. And that's going to be airing in 2025. So Monday Night Raw is a live program, and then you'll be able to watch it on demand, I'm assuming, plus a bunch of other WWE related content. So that's big. But even before that, they're dipping their toes in the water. They've done live events before, a handful. Comedy live events. I think Chris Rock had a live event that was there. I think Dave Chappelle maybe even had a live event. This will be the first time that they do like a sporting live event, to my knowledge.
A little bit different.
Yeah. And again, it's not pay-per-view. It's July 20th, and they're going to attempt within 4 months. Is it going to be 4 months? We're 3. Yeah, 4 months to sell over 100,000 tickets for
just for the arena portion.
Just for the stadium. It's not an arena,
stadium,
right? Yeah, to see a YouTuber versus an icon.
Yeah,
an icon that's almost 60, by the way.
Right, but
still a terrifying man. And Jake Paul, who won his last fight Saturday against a white out of shape plumber, right, is not the same as.
So that's been the entire argument up until this point, is him choosing older fighters who are really kind of washed up in a sense.
Well, the argument
was different.
Yeah, he was fighting older UFC fighters, MMA fighters who weren't boxers, right? Then to try to legitimize his boxing career, he started fighting quote unquote professional boxers, but these are basically no-name professional boxers. The one boxer that actually did have a name that was a professional boxer was Tyson Fury, who's actually named not Tyson Fury, as his younger brother. Help me out, streamers. The Fury brothers. I think Tyson Fury is the heavyweight champion, who's named after Mike Tyson. And then so his younger brother, Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury.
Yeah, Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
So he fought Tommy Fury, who's a professional boxer, a legitimate boxer around the same age. And guess what happened, Rico?
What?
He lost. Yeah. So to bounce back, he's fighting no-name boxers. But now, the big money grab, which without a shadow of a doubt is huge business, huge box office, and name value alone, is him going against Mike Tyson. Now, the question is Mike Tyson going to do the Floyd Mayweather tactic, basically like legalized bank robbery, which
Right.
Floyd Mayweather has said, meaning the whole thing's a spectacle, smoke and mirrors. I'm not going to kill the kid, but I am going to walk away with $100 million.
Mhm.
Or is Mike Tyson going to do what he did to Roy Jones Jr. in their exhibition, which is hold back a little bit, but still F him up in a major way?
Mm.
Roy Jones Jr., who is a professional boxer as well and around the same age, you could see if you watch back on that fight, the terror and the fear in his eyes when Mike Tyson comes out in Mike Tyson mode. So even like professional assassins are terrified of Mike Tyson, and rightfully so.
Oh, he's not a joke, man. To look at his face when Tyson's coming at him, yeah, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Yeah. So
Jake Paul.
So what does Jake Paul have as far as an advantage goes? He has height, he has youth, he has reach. Okay, that's where it ends. That is it. Now he's been training diligently, and we'll give him credit for that. But and he's in pretty good shape.
To make a good point, though, you're talking about the pro match versus exhibition. That's going to make all the difference in the world about how this goes.
Well, that's going to depend on the state of Texas,
right?
Okay, whether they will legalize it as a professional fight, given a bunch of circumstances. Mainly, Mike Tyson's age, I think, is a factor. To where if it was a professional fight, they might not allow it.
It won't be
because it'd be too dangerous to say, right? But an exhibition, then that's a kind of a workaround to go beyond the red tape. It's interesting. Now, Anthony said, I thought Tyson said he didn't want to fight anymore because he's not that same animal anymore. He has said that in the past, but he has also walked that back, and he does enjoy money. And, of course, Jake Paul and them negotiating this probably convinced them one way or another.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for that negotiation.
Yeah. Now, Mike Tyson says he doesn't like, he's not that same animal anymore, but no, he doesn't like to be that same animal anymore. Doesn't mean he doesn't still have it in him, because he still does. And he says that he does. That's one of the reasons why he smoked so much weed, was to repress the urge to murder everybody. That's the man that's going to be across from Jake Paul, the YouTuber, on July 20th in Dallas.
That's why that guy on the plane that harassed him was able to walk away with his life still.
Oh, but he got his ass
edibles. He still got his ass
whooped in a major way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, Jake Paul's business in boxing is that he is like the heel. He's the bad guy. People pay to see him get his ass kicked.
He knows it. Yeah. He knows people want to see him get his head ripped off.
That's it. Yeah. Of course. And so he knows, Netflix knows as well, that people are going to tune in to watch Mike Tyson kick the living hell out of Jake Paul. But will we get a legit fight, and will that happen? Only time will tell. Their face-off, I'm sure, will be scheduled here in the next couple weeks. But this big news, once again, the breaking news today was Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was announced to be live on Netflix from AT&T Stadium in Dallas on July 20th. Let's hit the reset on the FM side. We have a lot of show to go. You can join us on the YouTube stream, youtube.com/beefvegan. It's the podcast broadcast. Look at me being a
sports commentator.
Yeah. Tyson will catch him.
I'm here for the memes, baby. I want to see the Mike Tyson punch out 8-bit recreation with Jake Paul in the foreground.
Yeah, well,
let's head ripped off.
Let's see if there's any memes already. I mean, it was announced. So,
and what do you think about this and his let's say Mike Tyson's like legacy? There's already comments online, kind of scrutinizing the whole thing. Is like, this is so unnecessary. This kind of ruins his whole
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it takes away from the legacy. If anything, Mike might look at this as like an opportunity to just put one more accomplishment on top. Obviously, a big payday. That's the reason why he's doing it.
Maybe to remind people too, like, I'm still a beast.
Well, yes and no, because again, the argument could always be made like, hey, you fought a YouTuber. It's not like this guy is world ranked in the top 10. That's not the case.
Well, after Roy Jones,
Well, that was an exhibition as well. Sure. And initially, Roy Jones was a replacement. I'm forgetting who Mike Tyson was or supposedly supposed to fight. It might have been even Tyson Fury. I don't know. For whatever reason, the opponent pulled out. Roy Jones Jr. stepped in begrudgingly and admitted it or regretted it as soon as he saw Mike Tyson walk down the aisle. He was, you could see in his eyes, he's like, fuck me. Oh,
I'm going to destroy you.
No, well, yeah, that's what Mike Tyson was saying. Jones Jr. was shitting himself. And see, William said people forget Tyson is a killer. If he doesn't knock Jake out in the first round or first 2 rounds, I don't know exactly. So that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Because we did mention when this first initially broke, you're talking about the exhibition and you're talking about Paul brothers. You got to remember that Logan Paul, Jake's older brother, had an exhibition with Floyd Mayweather. The thing with that is a lot of people call foul on that because, there was images and video showing that Floyd Mayweather actually rung Logan Paul's bell and it looked like he was going to drop to the canvas, but Floyd Mayweather kind of held him up. And the idea was people speculate that the agreement was that they were going to do this legalized bank robbery, which Floyd Mayweather literally said in the press conference, I think before and after, that's exactly what it was. But I think the gentleman's agreement going into that fight was like, look, don't make me look too bad. You'll get the win or whatever, or the draw, and we could both walk away with a bunch of money. I think that's what it was. That's what a lot of people believe too. I'm only just repeating tons of speculation that I've seen online. So
I get these weird fascinations in my head too about the whole situation where it seems like Tyson is such the outlier rebel type. Or no matter what they say behind closed doors, he's like, all right, man, you're going to go down in the third. We're going to both look good. We're going to get But Mike Tyson just destroys him in the first round.
Yeah. Todd,
that'd be great.
Todd, what are you roasting me on now? He said, damn, Rico, say something else so Beef could say, no, you're wrong. And then say what you just said with more words.
I'm used to it. It's fine.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes I can't retain information.
I say things, you go, yeah. Then I'm like, you just repeated what okay.
Shit. Okay.
Not today. It's okay.
Well, you know what, though? That is something I am actively trying not to do. So it's not something that I'm purposely doing or get any enjoyment out of. Okay.
I know.
Yeah. It's just sometimes
this is
a lot of moving pieces. So it's hard to fully absorb everything.
But apparently. I'll be honest, I hate the fact that this fight is the one thing kind of almost convincing me I want to see live versus every other exhibition bullshit fight.
Right.
Where it's kind of like I'll watch the highlights afterwards. I'm like, why am I so intrigued in this one?
No, and I completely disagree with you. I'm going to be 100% intrigued with this fight when it happens. Yeah. And I just did it. The thing.
That was good context with it, though. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with you. No memes yet, but we're going to keep an eye on, the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul memes, I'm sure, and share them. Here's just like a little side by side. This was Mike Tyson in his last fight with Roy Jones Jr. So you could tell he could still get in shape. And that was the look he was giving Roy Jones Jr., which is terrifying. So Jake Paul doesn't look bad, by any means. He's in shape. He's in boxing shape. He's taking it seriously, but even taking it seriously might not save his ass against arguably one of the greatest boxers of all time. Right.
Very interesting. Guy knows how to sell a fight. That's for sure, though.
Yeah, he does. And that's pretty much what it is. He got my attention. And the fact that we mentioned it a couple times because it is that big of a deal. And congratulations on that. That's a big deal. Netflix,
it's a big deal.
Netflix, AT&T Stadium, Mike Tyson. Yeah, I mean, you can't. You got to give credit where credit is due with this kid. I mean, he is making major moves. This was a Disney kid. This was a YouTuber. This was a kid that was
a Vine boy.
Yeah, he was admittedly washed. Like he was hitting rock bottom at an early age. He was going to be a cliche Hollywood has-been, and then he found boxing and this little kind of like con in a way, but he's taking it seriously. And now both him and his brother on top of the world in entertainment combat.
It's crazy.
You
look at it objectively, it's like, yeah, that was a major pivot to kind of change the perspective entirely.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I did not appreciate or like the Paul brothers because I had a young daughter. She's 18 now, but when she was younger, she wanted all the Jake Paul merch, all the kids.
Prime.
When my daughter was a third grader, it was way before Prime. When my daughter was a third grader, all those third graders, the fifth graders, they all wanted Logan Paul, Jake Paul merch. They're all the Paul gang or whatever the hell you want to call it. I thought it was insufferable. I thought these are just annoying YouTube brats. And, honestly, when Logan Paul did that stunt in Japan and he had a downfall and then Jake Paul started melting down, I was happy to see him go.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah.
Good riddance.
Yeah, exactly. You kids had too much time, too much money, or too much attention and too much money in the first place. But what they've been able to do is respectable, and I can't. I don't take that away from them. I can't. So now I am literally a fan. I'm a fan of Jake Paul and what he's been able to do and the character he's showing, even though he's a little douchey still. But I never hate on anyone for being douchey, you know. And Logan Paul for being a professional wrestler and being a damn good one. You know, I got the WWE 2K24 game, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. It's like forget having
Last
sex
wrestling game I played was on an N64.
Well, then you got to come over to the house and I'll school you. They make it very realistic, which is nice. But with this, every reveal is the wrestlers and their ratings, right? How good they are in the game as perceived by the WWE universe. What's interesting is Logan Paul is rated at a 90 out of 100.
What?
Yeah, which is mind blowing because he's has a higher rating than a handful of world champions.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they're
Clout.
they put him on a pedestal in this game.
I don't know how much that cost him.
Yeah, well, he is the United States champion, Rico.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it pays to be champ, I guess. Okay, so let me talk about this real quick. I want to show you my notes behind the scenes because Rico enjoyed the conversation I had with Ryan from Mother, and I enjoyed it too. It was good, and I'm gonna edit together clips because I know it's gonna be good little clickbait for Mother fans. But I think as you guys, I think you'll enjoy the conversation as well. But last night I sat down with the album that I've heard about 30 times, and I wanted to kind of go through notes and make sure I'm not forgetting song titles, because that's the thing. I'll listen to a song and love it 100 times and just know the band name. I won't even really know the name of the song correctly.
Right.
Or, who's in the band. I'm not that kind of person, right? But this is my notes for a grief chapter that I'll share with you a little behind the scenes. This is what I wrote, okay? Let's see. So grief chapter, I'll start it off. Embracing their sound and style more on this record than the last 10 years. Some songs are related, evolved siblings to past records. What Mother does best is they make harmonies sound like orchestras. Lyrics so poetic, internal conflict, and clever one-liners. So in the past, some songs were inspired by other artists like Bit by Bit, which was Cage the Elephant inspired. But this album sounds 100% inspired by Mother. I put a couple quotes from a recent interview that I read of Ryan's in there, kind of get some context. And I did a star system, an asterisk system, if you will, of what I rated each song and just a little note from it. So Nobody Escapes is the opening track on that. I gave that 5 stars. I said nobody takes it easy. A lyric from this is nobody takes it easy on you because you're skinny. Nobody takes it easy on you because you're pretty. Nobody takes it easy on you because you're pretty ugly. The way that he sings that, I thought that was super clever. And it ends all psychedelic, sounds like Pink Floyd. To My Heart, going back to the start, this felt like a throwback song to Oh My Heart. And I gave that 3 stars. Explode was the song I played on the radio. It has heavy riffs, great sing-along chorus, fat bass lines. Yeah. And then the line, I'll relax when I die. I thought that was interesting. Right, because right now in the interview we talk about the output and what's driving him, and this whole album is kind of inspired by the theme of death,
it's an ode to mortality,
right? And his, recognition of death is what is inspiring him to push harder while he's still alive, and I think that's inspiring. Head Shrink is a really catchy song, it has beautiful harmonies. It's an amazing poem. It goes from acoustic to big symphony. And then a lyric from there is a car you can't uncrash. And the quote about that song was, it was born out of a personal injury, which led to a portal of emotional stuff, which allowed them to tackle the theme of trauma and how it can manifest into physical energy. So you like all my prep on this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I go through the whole thing. And then a couple bonus questions.
You did your homework. You spent time, wrote down notes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what you got to do as a music journalist.
Look,
reference points.
Let's see. Let's go back to Jake Paul comment here. Wes said, I think it's embarrassing that Jake Paul keeps saying his sights are set on the world champion, but does nothing but meme fight. Yeah. And Tyson is a legend, but he's nearly 60 years old. And 100% agreed. And honestly, as much as he wants to say he's going to be a world champion, we know that that's probably not going to happen. But he's going to make a shit ton of money along the way. And
I think he might be over the delusion he's going to be able to make it as a legitimate boxer in a legitimate setting with legitimate opponents. I mean, just going to ride that wave.
If you make $1 billion, you could buy your own boxing division and give yourself the title, right?
Right.
And he's almost there. So here, we're going to be on here in about 13 seconds. And then we're going to play a clip from earlier this morning after this segment too. So as we continue, we got still a lot of stuff to cover too. I know. You excited about that?
So much.
Rico's so excited. And you should be too. It's the podcast broadcast. We're live on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know, this morning when I was driving through the Dunkin' Donuts, there was a homeless guy just standing right there by the drive-through line. So before you could order anything, he was like basically taking your order, being like, "Hey, what kind of money can you give me this morning?" And like, and you can't tell this guy that you don't have money because you're literally about to buy something,
right?
Yeah. And fortunately for me, I was just like, "Oh no, all I got is a debit card." As I cracked the window, I'm here. Yeah, no, and I didn't give my credit card or debit card, and I didn't give him any money. Because I was annoyed that he would come up to me first thing in the morning.
The audacity.
Well, I'm trying to get a nice coffee. I don't know.
No, you're right.
First world problems. But look, you know, the homelessness is an issue that's, a big issue all over the country. We actually just had about 15 tiny homes shipped to Tucson to be set up like a tiny home community for domestic abuse survivors, which I think is fantastic and hopefully something that we could continue to grow on. In Seattle, homeless is just as bad, if not worse. And there are some department stores that are kind of fighting back to try to make sure homeless people don't camp out outside of their store.
Right.
Like Ross. What Ross has done is an age-old tactic that I believe that was started during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And that's basically sound assault, right?
Oh, boy.
Playing loud music to scare away any unwanted people. And I feel like there's places around here. I was trying to think of the place. It was a Walgreens. It was a Walgreens that was on Country Club in Grant.
No way. What happened?
Outside had annoyingly loud music. Yes, being played through their speakers. And that so like homeless people don't just hang out there, right?
Oh, because consumers would be able to walk right past the sound wave into the store kind of thing.
And it was different than the music that was being played in the store.
What music was being played?
I forgot, but it was annoying. But I do recall this. So this is
so many jokes.
Yeah, this like kind of audio assault to make sure no homeless people camp out outside the store. And I guess the store has the right to do that. But here's a problem. In Seattle, residents found out that the Ross is playing the music so loud, it's actually disturbing them in their homes. Yes. And here's
slippery slope.
Yeah, there's a couple quotes here. There was a man named Mac McCarty and his wife. They say the music started coming from the Ross store and playing nonstop on a loop since early December. And he says that it keeps us awake. We understand the purpose of it, but it's not working. And she said that she was told that the music was turned up as a crime prevention tool. So they'll wake up at 4:00 in the morning for work and it's on. And it's so loud, it's disruptive. They say that it goes on 24/7 and it's unbearable. And actually, there's residents in a nearby apartment complex that have the same complaints. They hear it nonstop. It's like they live next to a train.
That'll drive me nuts. At that point, I'd be like, can you guys at least accept my song requests so I can have them playing in the morning?
Yeah, right.
That would be nice. Sabbath.
Yeah, now they're fed up and they've called the police to make a complaint, and he was hoping that the message would be received. The manager at West Edge even reached out to a local news station saying the music is violating city code because, the volume and the hours at which it's played both exceed city limits according to the noise ordinance. And anyone who tried to throw a party knows this law.
They know.
Yeah, they'll come by at 10:01 saying your music's too loud, turn it down, just to break up a good time.
You guys aren't a Ross.
Right.
Turn it down.
The sound ordinance is in effect from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. daily. And so they've called the police, the non-emergency line, and reported the issue. But as of right now, they keep cranking out the music. It's basically a rave at Ross, and nobody's invited. The key to this rave is to keep everybody away.
I would love to see a TikTok video of them making like a prop up rave situation happen there.
That would be
that could
fantastic.
convince them to stop doing it.
You know, honestly, what they need to, like what Merkel and all the residents of this apartment complex have
Should
to
do
do
that.
is, get a bunch of glow sticks,
Yeah.
right? Pacifiers as well, and dress in oversized clothes and rave like clothes. Have somebody set up like they're a DJ, but don't have any speakers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Sell
and
it.
then just party from 10 a.m. to 7 a.m., 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Right.
until they realize that they just set up the Ross rave.
Yep.
Ross rave
Ross
is the
Rave,
thing.
hand out flyers and everything.
Yeah, hashtag Ross rave. I love it. Well, let's keep the conversation going on the podcast broadcast. Be back with more right after music from Tool. It's Rock 102.1. Yeah, we're on to something.
Dress for less.
Dress for less.
Oh, man.
But it's $30 to get in.
You actually charge tickets to the front. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. We've been having a lot of fun this morning. Earlier this morning, we talked about man's bad luck in Vegas, and it didn't involve losing money. In case you missed it, went a little something like this. Check it out. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. On your birthday, you had some luck at the casino, did you not, Rico?
I did.
Yeah, so you played some bingo.
Went to the
you
bingo hall, baby.
What'd you score?
$250
Hell yeah,
on a
dude.
cactus formation.
Didn't you win on your birthday like a previous year as well? Like it's a tradition. You and your mom going to the casino on your birthday?
No, I think it was my grandfather's birthday, actually.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like a blessing.
Dude, well, that's a lucky thing to happen at a casino.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're luckier than I, that's for sure. And you're way luckier than the man that I want to talk about right now. Because some people have great luck in a casino, and some people have terrible luck at a casino. And this story is about a man who had the worst possible luck at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. You ever been to the Venetian?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool hotel.
I don't have the money for the Venetian, but I've been there.
Yeah. I've been in a lobby before they realized I was too po to play.
Nice marble.
Yeah. Well, okay. So it's supposed to conjure the essence of Venice, Italy. But for one guest, it kind of conjured some extreme pain in his genitals. This man was from California. His name's Michael. And he says he's considering legal action after he was stung by an orange scorpion while staying at the Venetian back in December. He said, and I quote, it happened around 8 a.m. He woke up in extreme pain, and he said he felt like somebody was stabbing him in his testicles, like it was a sharp glass or a knife. Then he ran to the bathroom, took off his clothes, and then you're going to see on the stream exactly what he saw.
Oh, God.
It was a baby scorpion in his boxer shorts.
And those are the bad ones, they say.
They're a little more poisonous for sure. And those are the ones that are more testicle hungry. So you have to be very weary of them. So, of course, once he saw the scorpion hanging out of his underwear, he checked out that day and the hotel comped the room. A very Vegas-y thing to do.
Yeah, we don't know how to do anything about this. Here you go, free room.
That's an interesting complaint. Yeah, sure. Free room. Okay. Would you like a buffet on the way out?
Right.
Yeah. The man says he doesn't know how the scorpion got there, and that only under the covers, or only that it was under the covers with him, and he believes the scorpion was in bed when he got there. And you know what? We live in a desert. These things happen. In fact, actually, this happened to my buddy Mark Norman.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Now, this story that he told me, I hyperventilated when he told me, because he said he woke up in the middle of the night to extreme pain, much like Michael from California. Looked down, saw it was a scorpion, right? Killed the scorpion. Started freaking out. He goes into the living room. He has this like stoner roommate. And I'm imagining when he's telling this story, Brad Pitt from True Romance hitting the honey bear bong. Right?
Hey, man.
And he's like, oh, man. Oh, gee. Oh, I just got stung in the testicles by a scorpion. Oh, man. Oh, it hurts. Should I go to the hospital? And then the roommate sitting on the couch doesn't even flinch. Hits the bong. Nah. And then Mark.
Stop freaking out, man.
Mark, he got that reassurance from that very calm reaction from his scorpion, from his roommate. Was like, oh. Okay, I guess I'll just go back to bed. Now, here's the thing, okay? Mark did go back to bed. He woke up the next day. Yeah, his testicles were swollen. After a couple of days, they went down, and he survived. Scorpion stings, wildly uncomfortable, not deadly, even if it's baby scorpions and your genitals. And that's the lesson I'd like to share with you that you could take away with. Now, Michael was not as manly as my friend Mark Norman. He actually went to the hospital. They did confirm it was a scorpion sting. And Michael apparently made a full recovery physically, but his lawyer says he has trauma. So they're considering a lawsuit. Basically, his lawyer says, we smell money and we're going for it.
Yep.
The Venetian released a vague statement saying the resort has protocols for all incidents, and we can confirm that they were followed in this incident. Meaning, yeah, we comped the room. What else you want, dude?
Right?
We'll give them another weekend stay.
I would have laughed so much harder if it was at the Luxor, like an Egyptian themed.
Oh, yeah.
They could have been
Nice.
like, well, it's part of the immersion experience.
Well, it would have to be a black emperor scorpion then. And they're not poisonous, but they will pinch the hell out of your testicles. I know this for a fact.
Facts.
Yeah.
I've seen things.
Yeah, I've seen things. As far as Michael, he goes to the hospital. They confirm it's a scorpion sting, and then they just give him a high five and slap him on the ass on the way out the door. They don't give him any treatment. And that just reassesses the point that I'm making here. Yes, in Arizona, you'll get stung by a scorpion at some point in your life.
Yeah.
And you just got to suck it up, man up, and move on with your day. You'll be fine, son. All right.
Just tell the girls I got scorpion venom up in here.
Oh, it's very venomous. So. All right. Anyways, let's hit the reset. We come back. We got tickets to give away for Cage Yellowfin. That's right. All right. This morning, Rico sent me an email, a killer deal. If you guys are in the market for some vintage workout gear, yeah, like you got to get this, dude. It's only $300.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, dude, for this vintage workout gear. Check this out. Yeah, now it reads.
Leather's expensive, man.
Yeah, vintage exercise equipment from grandmother's basement. It's antique exercise furniture. $300 or best offer. And
just a heads up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What you see and what I like about this vintage exercise equipment, you first got hand holders, and that's very flexible. Also, the pink leather there is you could clean it off very easily.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what appealed to me for sure. I mean, you can definitely get a lot of glute exercises in there that aren't conventional. The hand holding thing, the little contraptions where your arm goes through, I've never seen that. Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
I'll tell you what, for as far as doing dumbbell curls, sometimes you kind of cheat a little bit, lift your legs up to kind of get leverage. There's straps there to keep your legs strapped down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's very good. So you can do your dumbbell curls.
Did you notice the recovery chair?
Yeah, there's a recovery chair, which is great. Or they call that the cuck chair in the gym, right?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, so
I don't know what it stands for, but yeah, they call it that.
Yeah, I think someone just sits there and watches after everything.
Oh,
watches
yeah, observing.
Workout. Yeah, it's like, oh, you got a new personal trainer? Oh, you got two personal trainers? Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, well, I'll
coconut oil.
I'll watch you get personal trained. So that's nice. So yeah,
just a heads up,
California. If you guys are looking for vintage workout gear,
yeah,
you got you. So that's nice. Speaking of cuck chair, did you guys hear the phone call that I aired this morning with the guy trying to sell printer ink?
Yeah, chef's kiss.
Yeah. So what happened in that scenario was I was just chilling, right? It was after the show. I was waiting for our little company luncheon that we were having, and that was happening at 11:30, and I was doing show prep for today and whatnot. And then this guy called the KFMA hotline, and usually it's someone requesting or trying to speak with Robin. So I answered it, and it was this guy trying to cold call and sell printer ink. And so I had to fuck with him. And the thing was explaining to Rico, because Rico knows it's illegal for us to do prank calls, call somebody and record them without their knowledge.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And thanks to the Jerky Boys for the sweeping law around the country. But they were fantastic. But
classic.
It's not illegal if they call you. Yeah. And so he called me, and I was like, oh, this is a prime opportunity. This is one of my favorite bits I used to do.
It's like Christmas when that happens. You're like, yes.
Yeah. In Phoenix, I would do this reoccurring bit because my phone line was my home line, right? So I would get these.
Man.
Yeah, I would get these aggressive telemarketers all the time, and I would fuck with them so hard, so often. And
you're gonna learn today.
Yeah, some people would hang up, some people wouldn't. And on my very last show that I did live from Stinger's Bar and Grill, it was my Tequila Sunrise show. I was tapped into their phone line, and then so the daycare next door to the bar, this is around 8:30 in the morning, and the bar is packed, right? Because it's my going away party.
Nice.
And we're drinking, we're broadcasting live, and the daycare called at the bar, and I was connected to the bar phone line, and so through the radio. And then so I had an interaction with them, kind of talking smack back and forth.
Uh-huh.
And then and that was really good. It was gold. I wish I had the audio there. And then a little bit later, one of the bartenders that were supposed to work later on was calling in sick, and I fired her on the air. she
Crying.
believed it. Yeah. And I was and
That's horrible.
I know.
And hilarious.
Yes, it was really good. So I guess I'm not the master of the incoming prank call.
She didn't ask you once who you were. She's like, I don't remember this being. You're not a manager, are you? Like,
No.
yeah, I'm new.
I did my worst impersonation of a manager, and
I'm corporate.
And whose email did I give him? I gave him Power's email. And then they're like, yeah, you email all the time, even just to check in and say hi. It doesn't matter, you know?
I hardly ever see them, so keep trying.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't respond right away, that means I didn't get it. So send 10 more emails to that address. And I don't know how he didn't know it was a station. I did answer at KFMA.
You were playing fair.
I gave him an opportunity. And now this guy, I'm sure, already sent out an email and is probably excitingly waiting back for that link for my wife's OnlyFans.
He's like, I'm real curious now.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a double.
Love the idea though you threw at him. You're like, yeah, she likes to print them out. Her fan base is entirely like elderly, so they like the old school style of having inkjet printer photos of them sent.
Yeah, you like that?
That was great.
Thank you. I was on the spum. You know,
he's like, all right.
The beauty and the brilliance of that. I think it was the first ever crank prank that I've ever done. Okay, so it was a crank call, right, from that guy. I was cranking him, but I was pranking Powers by giving his email address, right? To
double whammy.
Yeah. It was a crank prank. Beef Vegan, the king of the crank prank.
Crank prank. The combo.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks. I did feel good about that.
That's what you probably miss having that home base because you have that phone number that will always get those calls. Well, here it's like a gold mine when it rarely happens.
For whatever reason, we still get them on this hotline.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it is. It is odd. Not as often as I'd like, to be honest with you, because sometimes it would happen in the middle while I'm on a segment, and I'll just switch gears and be like, okay, now I'm gonna fuck with you.
So can we tell people that are watching to like go send our number to like multiple businesses?
No, I would not. No, because sometimes we do want to give out tickets and don't want our phone lines tied up by telemarketers. But we were talking about the crank prank that I pulled earlier this morning. We're back on the air in Rock 102.1 KFMA. So let's do a quick little segment here where I want to help my bros out there. I came across this piece about items every adult man needs in his home. Okay. So, and I'm going to list this off and we'll kind of go one by one and just see if we have these things in our home. Okay. So, we could be the ideal man. All right. First and foremost, they say art. Okay. Art. The great thing about art is that it's specific to you and your personality. I'll tell you what, me as a man now, I actually have art on my walls that I'm super proud of. So if I do have company over, I don't look like I'm 17,
Your Fight Club posters are gone.
Right. Yeah. And it's music inspired art as well, which is a part of my personality. Do you have any art?
Like, do you have the music notes?
No, I have. Okay. So here's what I have. So there's one long canvas that is a bunch of vinyls that are kind of stacked together. From afar, kind of looks like this like colorful barcode, but when you look up close, it's all different classic albums. Then the flip side of that, I have the cassette tape version of that same concept. Then I also have a piece that is a bunch of Beatles vinyls that are painted different colors, kind of like Warholian.
You hipster.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done.
It's super impressive.
You can't find that at Target.
Look, there's not a woman that's coming over to my house and seeing that art that is not going to spend the night.
You must be into music.
Yeah. All right, a proper bed. Okay. Now, you don't have to get like a $10,000 bed, but you definitely have you need some room to play.
Memory foam.
I'm a man. Yeah. I have a fantastic mattress and king size bed. So check.
Boom.
A clean bathroom. That just really depends on what day of the week you stop by.
No certain hairs hanging around.
Sometimes it just depends on the day.
Class it up a little.
Yeah. But luckily I have a teenage daughter, and I say, hey, you got to clean that bathroom. And then here's a bunch of stuff I don't have: organizers, plants.
You don't have any plants?
Nah. Well, no.
I get some plants, bro.
No. I don't necessarily have a green thumb. Any plants in my house, I smoke. That's how it is. There's a couple more on here that we got to share on the podcast broadcast because we got to hit the reset. Be back with a beef tip after these words. It's Rock 102.1.
Just weed plants everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was gifted.
He's a gardener.
I was gifted a weed plant, right? That was already like fertilized and good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I killed it within 2 days. I know. Like, that's how bad I am. It was already grown. It was just like, hey, all you got to do is give it in the right amount of sunshine and water, and boom, you'll be smoking free weed for the rest of the year. And I'm like, cool, let me just, oh, no, it died. You know, like,
why have you forsaken me?
Candles. I got candles to make your place smell more inviting. Yeah.
Do you actually get choosy with your candle scents?
Yeah, I guess I got a basic nose.
Which is kind of funny as a man. You're looking at an aisle, you're like, sandalwood.
Yeah, exactly. There's no manly way to pick out a good scent of candle. But I do have to pick out the next candle because I don't like the smell of the candle that my daughter's been burning lately because it does smell like vagina.
God.
I know. I was like, is this a goop candle?
I was going to say, Gwyneth Paltrow's stupid.
No, and it wasn't, but I forgot the combination of scents that she said it was. But it was very, summer's Eve. I was like, I know that smell too well. That's not good.
It was very naked hot yoga.
Yeah. Well, that was a story that we did earlier, by the way. Let's see, sofa and a couch or sofa/couch. So
futon.
You need to have, whether you're going to binge watch something on TV or take a cat nap, you need something that's comfy and clean. Rugs. You need rugs. I do have a rug.
Rugs are pricey, man.
I know.
They're expensive.
For real.
But when you have like a nice Persian rug, that's got to be like the dude. You're like, this really ties it together.
Right. Mine isn't like a nice Persian rug, but I did get a rug for my place. And that was honestly, if I wasn't in my last relationship, I wouldn't have gotten a rug. I was kind of like trained to understand and appreciate rugs. And it's it basically makes a dining room in my little condo that I have.
That's what scares me about having like more money is like you get to the point where you become a rug guy. You're like, I'm going to get some good rugs.
That's true. Yeah.
Spend all my money.
Part of the benefit of not having money is not being like, oh, let me just go to Hobby Lobby and just spend some bullshit.
Exactly.
But I've done that. When I've had money, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to go to Hobby Lobby.
World Market.
But that's where I got my my art. So
nice. Well played.
I'm telling you. It was. Thank you. It was very good. I was actually happy about it, too. You got to come over to the house. I'll play a wrestling game. Check out my art, dude. And I promise I won't bang you. But that's usually my move.
Are you gonna bang or what? Come on.
Yeah.
Did that game just come out?
Yeah. Tuesday it came out.
Oh snap.
Yeah.
So like the NFL, all the sports games, which is the comments about it every time are like they just literally package the same graphics from the previous year and just up the roster basically and resell it.
Okay.
So is this
here's the thing with this, and I'm just kind of scratching the surface with it, but there is a lot of carryover from the previous generation. But when I say the carryover, they have over 200 wrestler characters, and so it's a large roster. So there's a lot of those characters who aren't necessarily the biggest names on the roster that they did a quick copy paste, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at that at all. Now they did a couple different tweaks and changes, and then they added more concept games and the storyline stuff. But the thing that's upsetting is because of the scandal with Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
a couple things. So all this kind of happened after the game was already done and set to roll out. But Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon are both now two people that are no longer associated or publicly wanting to be associated with the company, or the company wanting to publicly associate with them. So Vince McMahon, who's founded this fucking company, is in the game in actual footage as they do this like 40 years of WrestleMania, and they blur his face out.
No way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which is crazy.
Dang.
Considering it is the man who built the company.
That would be infuriating.
Yeah, they blur his face out. You could still kind of hear the audio and everything, Vince McMahon saying stuff and setting up the match, but they blur his face out. Now, Brock Lesnar, they took away your ability to use him as a playable character, but it was too late to take him out of the storyline mode.
Yeah.
So he's still in the game. So you can only fight him against him when you're playing like the 40 years of WrestleMania, but you can't use him or fight as him.
Dang.
Straight up. But you can go download a version of him that users recreated.
I was going to say like a skin on the PC version to download.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing about wrestling games is they have a lot of like user creations that you could download. And luckily for that, I mean, hell, that's why people have been playing, or how people Rock 102.1 KFMA, talking about the WWE 2K24 real quick. But that's how people have been able to play with Chris Benoit after all these years.
Whoa.
Even though he was a double murderer, WWE has not included him in any game since that happened.
Right.
But that doesn't stop online video game creators from recreating the Chris Benoit character and uploading it to the data system. So Brock Lesnar is not in WWE 2K24. And Vince McMahon's face is blurred out, but both of them can be playable characters only if you download it from somebody who recreated them as characters.
I'm kind of shocked they didn't have it as like the downloadable content you can pay for.
Well, they have
to
that
go
too.
Towards his lawsuit fund.
Well, that'd be fantastic too, but yeah, it'll be interesting.
Jeez.
But yeah, okay. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. We'd like to thank everyone for listening to the show. Tomorrow morning, Craig Gass, the comedian, will be joining us all show long. So it's going to be a fun one on Friday as we wrap things up and give away tickets for Cage the Elephant and Hailstorm and I Prevail. We're also going to give away those keywords for you to win the Rock 102.1 Cash Pal $2,000 that we give away each and every day. And speaking of which, your next opportunity to text in the keyword is coming up at 11:15. So keep it right here. Till then, drive safe, ride safe, enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, rock local. Later. Fucking nailed it. Hit the dismount. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Tomorrow's show will be extra long. Sorry for the late start, but I appreciate y'all.
I will knock out all your teeth.
Peanut butter cup.